Hey everybody, this is Tony and I'm here today with a special guest, none other than the viral star himself, Mr. Tony TV. How you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you for asking. Let me just first say though, I am very proud of you and congratulations for all your, accomplishments thus far in the internet world.
Thank you.
Almost 3 million followers alone on TikTok. I did see
Mm.
that you said previously in a Sheen magazine interview that you always wanted to be in entertainment, but did you ever imagine something like this happening for you?
Not so soon. Um, I grew up under a lot of people that were in entertainment. My grandfather was a radio personality, very known in my hometown and surrounding areas. And my uncle was just like a DJ. And so I got used to that. And that's kind of how I like, processed wanting to be in entertainment. Like if I wasn't going to be a DJ of some sort, I was going to be an actor.
Yeah, yeah.
If I wasn't going to be an actor, I was going to try to get in by like writing music or singing of some sort. Um, yeah, because my teachers, back when the first day of school, they used to ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And everyone wanted to be a doctor, police officer,
Hmm.
all of that. But me, I always said I wanted to be an entertainer. I really didn't set myself into being or just having a regular, I wouldn't call them regular, but just like a normal job. Like I
Yeah,
always wanted to do this. And
yeah,
so for
yeah.
it to like happen, it's like, wow.
Wow. Yeah, it is. It is amazing to see, though. Like no lie, it really is amazing to see just people, come from being regular just to doing this kind of stuff, just off jokes and videos. You know what I'm saying? So it really is something special to see. Do you remember the first time that you went viral, though?
Yes, I do. So the first time I went viral, I want to say it's between two videos, and I'm trying to like play it back, but I want to say it was either between the video. So I did this ASMR video over a love and hip hop scene between K Michelle and Carly Red. And that went viral. And then there was another video I did of if Tony Braxton's song Act Up by the City Girls. That was
Okay.
another video that just took off.
Wow.
And I can't remember which one took off first, but I know for a fact that those are like my two first viral videos ever.
Yeah, yeah. Now I gotta ask the $1 million question. I gotta ask, when is Cheryl making an appearance in one of these videos? Because everybody is asking about this.
You know what? Someone made a good statement. Someone said that Cheryl is kind of like parlay
Yeah,
to Desi Banks.
yeah.
You hear about parlay, but you never see parlay. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, that's honestly a good idea, but I don't know. I probably have to bring her in because everybody is asking where is Cheryl. And I'm like, Lord, I have to draw up and figure out how I'm gonna create this character and how she's gonna look and what kind of wig she gonna wear. So I like the mystique about Cheryl. Like everybody's trying to figure out what she looks like and who she is for right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then maybe I might bring her out. Maybe. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
thinking about it.
Okay. Look, I hope so, because every time we hear Cheryl, we be everybody be looking like, okay, where is Cheryl at this point? But
And there's
it
always a
is
little slow
hilarious.
dig at her too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I would get it for Cheryl, but it's too small. But I'm just like, it really is comedy gold, the stuff that you do. Like, you are somebody that I actually watch. I don't watch a whole lot of people on TikTok and all that other stuff, but it really is, funny when you do stuff. I just die laughing at some of these videos. I'm just like, wow.
Thank you.
Where do you get this laugh from that you have in these videos? Is that your real laugh?
uh So a part of it is not all of it, but a part of it is. And I just kind of like created something like with my characters, I want them to have like their signature thing.
Yeah.
Just like the Starbucks drink girl has her laugh and the shake that people love.
Mm-hmm.
The administrator has her laugh, the wig, the keys, the walkie-talkie. Um, it's just kind of something that just I felt like a laugh would stick
Yeah.
And if you go back and look at like all the characters I've created so far, they all have their like individual laugh that's just out here. Like you wouldn't expect them to laugh like that, but they do. And Black people have weird laughs. We do. We really do. So it's like either you're gonna laugh and run, or you're gonna have this screaming laugh, or you're gonna use your hands and clap and laugh. So I was like, everybody can relate to somebody that laughs crazy, because we all have some crazy laugh. It's like our signature laugh.
Yeah, that's true though. That is true. They have to laugh and hit you on your shoulder or something.
Exactly.
It's always something. It's always something. But
always.
the administrator has definitely become, you know, one of your signature characters. Is that something that was on purpose? You know, did you gear towards that being so big, or did it just happen like that?
No, I did not, honestly, because I was still in the motions of trying to figure out what to do with my Starbucks girl. And I remember at the end of 2020, I was like, okay, I played this character for a while now. I need to figure out how to expand her, or expand this universe of like content that I already have. I don't want to mess up the formula and try to do something different and then people don't like it. And the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, well, let me do an administrator. And I didn't expect the administrator to like pass the Starbucks girl at all. Like, she's so far past the Starbucks girl, I literally have to sometimes think about using her, because I'm like, oh my God, like I still have people that are fans of the Starbucks girl. Let me go get that wig and make at least one video for this week. But I did not expect it, or that character in general, to just take off like that.
Yeah, but you know what? Honestly, you really are touching like home for a lot of people, because high school or school period is like a special place in time for most people. You know what I'm saying? So for you to come out with this administrator and it be so accurate, because most of us live, you know, kind of not the same life, but we had similar experiences, you know?
Right.
So for that to be the thing, and for us to see you, you know, go in and call the students out who don't have a hall pass, you know, or whatever it might be, or her chaperone in the trip. I just seen that one. It really is for real. Like, you know, you think about it, you like, wow, this is my old high school teacher, or my old principal, or whoever it is. Because I have some of my old teachers on Facebook right now, and they literally did some of this stuff. So it's for real.
Exactly. And it's like, you know, with everything that happened last year, administrators, teachers, and students are living their years that they couldn't, their year that they couldn't be physically in school through these videos. And I didn't know that. I was just, you know, creating these videos because I thought they were fun. They were fun to do. They're funny. But there are actually people that are looking at these videos and living 2020 that they couldn't experience through it. And that, I think that is like a really beautiful thing, because when you are able to enjoy content and be like, man, if I was in school, this is exactly how it would have went, and you can relate to it, that just really brings it home, you know?
Yeah. It's very, you know, normally people react to something that's personal, you know what I'm saying? And that's just like I said the other day in another interview, like about Tyler Perry movies. Like, a lot of people complain, but most of us watch that stuff because we either know somebody that been in a situation like this, we've been in it, or we, you know, seen something like it. So it's normally personal. But the school thing is just different.
Yes.
It really is different.
There are so many, and the thing is, I was not expecting, because there's so many talented other people, content creators out there doing like school content. I didn't think mine was going to take off as much, because I was like, okay, now I got like, I'm in this lane of sometimes actual teachers, actual administrators, actual coaches. Like, I am not any of that. I don't have the patience for kids. So I know I wouldn't be able to, you know, surpass these people who are actually working these jobs and living these jobs.
Right.
But somehow or another, it just like, boom, took off. And I'm like, and people tell me all the time, you're not a teacher. How do you remember this stuff? And I'm like, listen, it's just off the strength of my memory.
Yeah. Do you have like a process that you go through to get any of this stuff done, or do you just do it off the fly? Like, or do you go and write it down, rehearse it? Like, how do you do it?
I most of the time, so I usually try to write down my ideas for videos, and off of the idea, that's how I come up with everything. Like usually it's off the strength of my brain, right off the top. I'll go to a school, I have the idea of the video that I want to do that day,
Yeah.
and then from there, I just come up with it as I go.
Okay, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I did see you say something though about having other characters and having range, or being able to show range. But why was that like so important for you at this point now?
Well, I wanted people to know that regardless of this character or the Starbucks drink character, that I can do so much more.
Yeah.
Because before I even got into TikTok and doing this type of content, I was just doing regular content, and it was
Okay.
still doing pretty good. It was like doing normal, I'd say, but it
Yeah.
wasn't hitting. There were certain things that would hit, and there were certain things that would just be like, oh, okay, that's funny, but very forgetful.
Yeah.
But I've been doing comedy for 6 years, and I've studied the art of comedy, and I understand it. And I want people to just know that this character might not be here forever.
Mm-hmm.
And there'll be times where I might have to play somebody different outside of this role. And I want people to
Absolutely.
see that I can do that. Like I'm not just a one show kind of person. I'm crazy as hell. I'm funny as hell. And if you give me a role, I'm a kill it.
Yeah, yeah. I think people like to put you in a box a lot of times too, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the crazy part about getting big. I would say because it almost traps you sometimes.
Yeah.
In your case, we're not really in that, so thankfully, you get to be able to do different stuff and still be all right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's the beauty of this whole thing. But would you say you consider yourself a comedian? Because like a lot of people will label you like an internet star or TikTok star or social media influencer or all this other stuff. But do you just consider yourself a comedian? Do you consider yourself all of those things as well? Like, what would you categorize it as?
Well, the good thing about like today is that being a comedian is not just one thing. I know a lot of people think that to be a comedian, you have to do stand up or you
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
do a certain thing. And in today's world, that's just not, there's so much more to being a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I may
Mm-hmm.
not be the strongest at stand up, but when it comes to my skits, I know where my strength and my weaknesses are.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell was somebody who never did stand up, but in every movie, Will Ferrell is like the comedic relief, the funny guy.
Yeah.
So there's different levels to comedy that I think people don't quite understand, and then they try to make it seem like, oh, okay, he's not a comedian because he's never done stand up. There
Mm-hmm.
are tons of comedians who've never done stand up,
That's right.
but they show it in their art.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And I label myself as a comedian because I'm making people laugh. It's comedy. What I do is comedy. I can be a social media influencer. That's fine too. But just, I think my main goal is definitely being a comedian.
Yeah, yeah, it is, and you're doing a service to
Mm-hmm.
people by definitely helping them laugh. I tell you no lie, everything is not funny to me. So to see your videos and watch them, and I'm just like dying literally off of the videos that I'm just like, let me get off here. So I know that this is for real. To see all these people in the comments feel the same way that I do, I'm like, okay, it's you doing what you're supposed to do. But speaking of comedy, though, you said you studied comedy as well. So, is there somebody in comedy that you look up to or inspired you to be in the game?
Eddie Murphy is my all-time favorite comedian. I grew up wanting to be just like Eddie Murphy because I love how in any movie that Eddie Murphy plays in, he can play the main character, he can play the mama, the granddaddy, the uncle, the dog, anything, and it still be funny. And that to me is just like, that's something that kind of stuck with me. It's like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to be somebody that can play all these sorts of characters and still be funny.
Yeah.
And so he like that is my dream collaboration. I don't even care if I meet Eddie Murphy in the street and he wave and keep it moving. To me, that's like, just, I'm going to say Eddie Murphy waved at me, and that's going to be it. That's all I need.
Yeah, that's right.
But he
That's
is
right.
definitely my dream collaboration. So
Okay, okay. I mean, Eddie is definitely a good one, anyways. Too.
mhm.
I don't think people started to appreciate Eddie's, mind until like years later. But he really is technically a genius because everything he does is like the greatest, literally.
Yeah, he opened the door. I like to say what we have now is social media comedy, where people are
Yeah,
playing different characters, and Eddie Murphy kind of opened that door. Like,
yeah,
and got to put some respect on his name, because if he didn't, where would we be? You know,
exactly, exactly. Because we all love the clumps, and Rasputia and all that other stuff. So
exactly.
he made it happen, especially playing all those different characters, at one time, because you had people like Martin that played Big Mom, but he didn't play like all these different characters
Right.
in Big Mom. He did like a couple of different characters in Martin, but Eddie is really like top tier technically in comedy. So
Yeah, he is a genius,
it
and you
makes
gotta
sense.
respect him.
It makes sense though. But yeah, I didn't realize that you during your college years you opened or you hosted a comedy club. Is that
Mm.
right?
So I was president of a comedy club. I was the first freshman to be a president of anything at that point in time. And I kind of branched off from, I was in a poetry club, and that's how I kind of got my start. And I just wanted to be in charge and create my own thing. And so
Mm-hmm.
I branched off and created the comedy club. And it was three amazing, talented Black men in that. We auditioned, and there was like 12 people at the audition, and then they never showed up to the second audition. So it was only three of us, but we put on some amazing shows, and I'll never forget those shows. Every single one of them was jam packed. It was like people were sitting on the stairs just to be there. And that right there kind of showed me, okay, I can take this thing further.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome though. What did you get your degree in?
So I didn't get a degree. I
Oh,
actually,
okay.
unfortunately, college got too expensive, and I was just at a place where it just didn't sit with me. So I
Mm-hmm.
ended up dropping out. But if I were to get my degree, it would have been in mass communication with a minor in theater and business.
Okay, that makes sense though. But during the course of you doing these videos, before you became so big, were you working a regular job as well, which is how you got these videos?
I was a server. I was a server. And it is, let me tell you, being a server teaches you a lot. It teaches you,
Yes,
number one, patience.
yes.
You have to deal with people, different people every day. People that
Mm-hmm.
have never been out to eat, coming out to eat for the first time, picky people,
That's right.
annoying people, So
That's
I
right.
definitely, I don't take anything that I've learned in the service industry for granted, because if it wasn't for the service industry, I would not have the patience I have today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it takes a lot for me to snap. But before I snap, I'm like, let me sit down and think on this. Let me have some patience, because I understand some people might be upset. And it's also really hard because people get mad at you
Yes.
for something that the kitchen has done. I'm just the messenger. I bring you your food. I make sure you're having a good time. How your steak is cooked, that is not up to me. It is up to me. If I put it in the system and they cook it differently, that is not my fault. But you
Right.
tell that for it. And I had to learn how to just smile. Absolutely. I'm so sorry about that. I'll get this fixed for you while they're cussing me the hell out, and you
Right.
get it fixed and bring it back. So yeah, being a server, it teaches you a lot.
Yeah, yeah. I always tell people that like being in the food service industry, period, just really um take you through anything that life can technically bring you almost. I was on both sides because I was a host at one point and then I was a server at one point too. So just being in the restaurant business, I learned a million and one things, but I hated
Yeah,
the course
yeah.
of learning those things. But when I went somewhere else, I was like, oh, this is nothing. Like, I've been through way worse. This is nothing.
Yeah, and now I quit my job in February, but now when I go out to eat, like everything that I've learned, all my traits, it just carries with me into the restaurant. Like I'll be sitting down and 5 minutes will go by and I'll be like, we haven't been greeted. And they'll be like, look, you're not a server anymore. Shut up. Like I can't help it because I was in the service industry for 6 years and just picking up on everything. And my manager, she was amazing. She's like my best friend, and she taught me everything I needed to know about the service industry. It's like going out and just, it's hard trying to like step out of that zone in a restaurant.
Yeah.
But because I've been in that service industry for so long, it's just there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, they shouldn't be backhanding us. And then my friends will look at me and they'll be like, don't do it here. I'm like, I can't.
Look, I feel you though, because I do the same kind of thing when I go out now. You know, and I had friends who worked with me at that time. And then, you know, we already know. So like when it's time to leave, we start stacking up the table and everything, all this kind of stuff. As if we still work there. So it is a habit once it's in you, you know, it's in you.
Yes.
But I tell you, no lie, that fast paced environment, especially those weekends, really prepares you for something out of this world.
Prepared you for a lot. And I'm thankful for it, because if it's one thing I learned how to do was to maintain a positive attitude. I think you get better reception out of customers and guests, or I'll say guests, when you have a more positive attitude. Like I always try to make sure I greeted my table with a smile and had this, like the personality that I have now that people see is the same personality I had when I was ripping and running food on the clock. And whenever I was training servers, I always would say, always have a positive attitude. Don't be negative. You know what I'm saying? If you mess up, you mess up, but it's easier to, when you mess up and you have a positive attitude and your table knows like you're an amazing server, than when you go to your table and mess up and have a negative attitude, and then y'all clash. Exactly. And all of a sudden your manager pulls you to the side and is cussing you out. You have to be able to maintain a positive attitude through anything, through the fire, through a 340 person night, or 500, you know, and that's just how I always was. I just kept that positive attitude throughout everything, through the busiest nights, slowest nights, the hell holidays. I call them hell holidays because you never want to be there. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to come out and eat on a holiday.
There you go.
Like, go home and cook, but you make good money.
It is crazy though, like no lie. And they used to love to do that. And then they get in there and start complaining. And it's like, oh Lord, like, sir, ma'am, can y'all just please just go, please. Like, who begged y'all to come in this restaurant on this day and this time? I understand that I need money, and I understand that you want to eat, but just go home right now. Just go cook. I can't do it.
Yes, please.
I cannot do it.
But you know, you gotta make that money.
Right.
And if I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna make it now.
Exactly. Because they peep everything. But it's nice though. It's cool. But they peep everything that you do in the restaurant. Like, oh, you saw that he raised his eyebrow when I asked for a refill. Like, my head was itching. Like, where did you get this?
I think out of my 6 years being in the restaurant industry, I may have gotten one bad review. And that was when I had just started out. But besides that, I always made sure I kept a smile on my face. If somebody asked me for the craziest thing, yeah, sure thing. Let me go get that for you. I'll be right back. Smile on my face. Because when they see that smile and they receive that, like you're an amazing server and you want to make sure that they have the best time, it's easier to deal with that than to walk up to them and just be negative and be like, oh, whatever, and like roll your eye. Ooh. And you get a better
tip. Right. Like in your spirit, you really don't want to say the wrong. You want to say the wrong thing, but you know that outer tapestry, you have to show something other, you know, different for you to get that tip and for you to not cause a ruckus at the beginning of you coming over there already. So exactly. It is definitely a mask wearing role. But that's how I'm going to describe it. But no, I'm glad that you said about keeping a positive attitude though, because you know people don't understand that really takes you a long way
Yes.
not only in the service industry, but in life, period. Because, if one person experiences you as a good person, if somebody else experiences you as a good person, and that third person experiences you as a bad person, and they go and talk to those other two people, they're gonna be like, oh no, they was good when I spoke to them. They was positive. They was, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So the good will outweigh the bad when you normally have a positive outlook and a positive spirit about yourself. So I'm definitely glad that you said that, because people don't understand the importance of that.
Mm,
Like, words mean a lot, but it mean nothing if you don't really mean it. So
exactly.
it is what it is on that. But how would you say the transition for you has been, like moving from, that kind of lifestyle to being an entrepreneur now?
I'm enjoying it because I get to be my own boss and I get to regulate everything. I'm one of those people who are very hands on and I'm a learner and I like to continue to learn. Like, I'm not stuck
Yes.
up. I'm not in a place now where I'm like, I don't want nobody to teach me anything because I know I'm the shit. I am a learner and I continue to grow and I continue to learn and I continue to maintain. And it just,
Mm-hmm.
that's just one of the things that I try to focus on the most. It's like, okay, I can't be like, I want to stay level headed. I want to make sure that if someone's going to teach me something, I'm going to receive it and I'm going to do it in my own way and also in the way that they taught me. And
Correct.
that's just how I've always been. I'm a very humble human being. I'm not really cocky. I don't know how to be cocky. That's just one of the traits that God did not give me. Um, and it's just been amazing. And my coworkers, my manager, everybody that I've ever worked with is very supportive of my career, and I think that is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome to have support, period,
Mhm.
especially doing something like this. What made you take the jump though to say, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it full time?
Well, I kind of saw it getting bigger and bigger. The train was just moving a little bit faster and a little bit faster, and I think I want to say we closed down and then we opened back up in May. And my manager was like, are you, I see everything happening for you. Are you going to come back or what are you going to do? And I just had to really pray about it and just talk to God and was like, what is the best decision? Like, this right here that's happening is what I want to do. And I'm going to be happy doing this. So is this something that I should do? Should I just tell them I'm not coming back? I'm going to focus on my career, or should I go back and maybe work 1 or 2 nights? And then he told me, he was just like, just go ahead and just tell them that you won't be coming back because you got so much in store for you this year. You not going to be able to do all of that at once.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
keep a steady job and continue to grow in your comedy career is just a lot, especially with jobs like that where you have to sometimes, someone will call you and say, hey, I like you. I like your content. I want you to fly to California like tomorrow and be a part of this project. And then I
mm-hmm.
have to ask my manager, can I take off the very next day when we have a busy night? And it's just like, it wouldn't have clicked. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I just decided that I'm going to focus on my career. And it's been the best thing since.
All right, all right. I can only imagine though, that it wouldn't, that it. I'm sure it's the best thing. Like,
Yeah,
what is better than doing what you love, right?
right.
And people don't understand that sometimes it take a risk to do those kind of things.
Mhm.
It's not just you; it happens for you overnight. Everybody don't click on all your videos. They don't, love them all. They don't comment on them all. That kind of thing.
Exactly.
Um, During the process for you, was there anything that you held on to, like any advice that you held on to, or inspirational things that you held on to carry you through until you got here?
Keep God first and pray. That's very important to me. Like any big decision I ever make, I just I feel like I need to pray about it first. And anything that I ever have that's like huge or major, I always thank God for it because without him, I wouldn't be here.
That's right.
And he is in charge of everything. He sees the road and the path that I'm going down, that everybody goes down. And I want to make sure that I keep that faith. I don't want
Yeah.
to lose that faith in him because
Yeah.
when you do that, then that's when everything starts to go willy nilly and haywire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So just keep God first and definitely pray about every decision you make.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I always use this quote, which is the will of God will never take you where the grace of God can't protect you.
Amen.
I always carry that with me everywhere because I don't think people realize like sometimes the waters might get a little rough, but you just gotta hold on. If you know where you're going, you will be all right. You know,
Exactly.
because we always look at the situation at the time like, oh, I can't do this, but you can. He's equipped you with everything that you needed already. You know what I'm saying? So just trust in yourself as much as you trust in other people, and you'll be okay too.
Yeah, you have to believe in yourself, especially going into like a business like this,
Yeah.
like the entertainment business. You have to believe in yourself because there are going to be people that are going to try to tear you down, that are
Yes.
just don't think that you're talented at all, that'll try to take advantage of you. And if you don't have that strength in yourself to believe in yourself and believe that you are important and you can do what you set yourself out to do,
Mm-hmm.
then your weakness is going to show and they're just going to run over you.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see that a lot, especially with some of these people who never, been in that world. And then you
Mm-hmm.
get online and you blow up, and then it's like next week you're going because you don't know how to handle what you got now.
Right,
You know what
exactly.
I'm saying? But I believe that you will go far. You already went far, and I'm sure you will continue to go further. Um, what can you tell us is next for you so far?
I love that question because there's always something blocking that question, and that is the NBA. Um,
Okay.
but I am working with some really talented people, a major brand, and I'm assuming that I can say this now because I went on their page and they already posted the TikTok. But I am going to be featured on Judge Jerry.
All right.
It was a really fun experience. The cast and the crew was amazing. Jerry was amazing, and they just, they wanted to expose me a little bit more, and they weren't
Okay.
put me in a negative light or anything. And of course, I didn't give them anything negative. I know how reality TV. So I gave them what they wanted, but I gave them something in a hey Tony kind of way, so that way they won't try to edit anything and make me look, you know,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
but that's just a part of a few things that are coming. I can't announce that, but everything else is like once I sign that NDA, I can't say anything
Of course, because you don't want to end up in no mess.
at all, at all.
Oh man, but that's awesome though. I definitely know that a lot of things will be happening for you. Like I said, I pray that I already know that you have the mindset to hold on to what you will get. I just hope that the next platform is even bigger, whatever it might be, or wherever it might be, it's even bigger than what you have already.
Absolutely, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure. And for people who might just be living under a rock, um, just let them know where they can follow you at on your social media pages and your website, all that stuff.
Yes, so you can follow me on Instagram at Hey Tony TV. Twitter is at the Hey Tony TV. My YouTube is Hey Tony TV. And if you want merchandise, Quarterbrick High merchandise, or if you're still a fan of the You Said What Girl, that's all available at HeyTonyTV.com.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than the man himself. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed you, and come back again soon when you got some more stuff on the horizon.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.